Hey guys, welcome to TST Garage. I'm Bart, and in today's episode I will be showing you how to install the new high power Echo LED signals on an XSR900. Now these bikes are pretty cool. They're retro style. They have this really cool silver and black theme, and we thought that maybe we can get rid of these pumpkin signals and put on some really nice high power CNC machined aluminum black anodized awesome signals in replacement of those pumpkins and get a really good result. These things are super bright. They do look very small, but as you will see after we mount them and show you, they pack a really big punch. They have one really high power Cree type LED mounted to a metal PCB that sinks the heat away from that LED, and we're able to push a lot of current through it. So the lighting result is really awesome. We do have a really nice accent ring incorporated into each of these signals. They come by default with a silver ring, which will really nicely complement this actual bike. But if you have different needs, we do have a set of different rings that you can purchase, and all you'll have to do is spin off the cap, making sure the inner lens stays in there. Take off your colored ring, put on a different one, and there you go. So you can match the styling of your motorcycle with these accent rings, or you can just choose to keep the nice, sleek and sexy silver black. Choice is yours. We also laser engraved some graphics onto the body of this signal. We did make sure to keep it very slight and just a suggestion of a logo. We don't want the logo to take over the shape. So really feel proud of this design. It is really stylish and elegant, we feel, and we will show you how they look on the bike in just a moment. To make our installation simple, we'll be using our pod signal mounting kit. When you remove these signals, they leave you with a really large hole in the mounting surface, so we will be making use of these plates that come as a kit that's Yamaha specific, and that will enable us to get these things screwed on there and make our installation really simple. We made the wiring of these signals universal by using 3.5mm male bullet connectors. So we will be using our Yamaha specific harness converters to go from bullets to OEM Yamaha signal plugs. This is also available on our website. And one thing I want to mention is anytime you move away from using the incandescent OEM lights and start using LED signals, your signaling system draws much less current than the OEM relay is set up for. So you'll likely notice a hyperflash symptom where your signals will flash much faster. For that, we do have a specific LED relay for this bike. We already shot an installation video on this bike showing you how to install that part. So you can look for that on our YouTube channel or on our website, tstindustries.com. All right, one last thing I want to leave you guys with before we start wrenching. These signals are compatible with the front and rear of this motorcycle. Actually, any motorcycle, they are universal. We will be showing you the installation on the front. If you want to see how to install signals on the rear of this bike, we already shot that segment in a different video that is available on our YouTube channel or our website. So you can see it there. All you have to do is imagine that you're installing these signals instead of the BL6 signals that we happen to use in that installation video. All right, let's get going and let's start the installation on the front. Step one will consist of the removal of our headlight and bezel from this front assembly. To do that, we will be using a 4mm Allen and removing these two screws here. Once the screws are out, we pry out the bottom portion and let it fall off. There is a clip here that fits via interference with the top, and we expose the main plug here. I like to use a large flathead screwdriver to break these loose. On bikes that have some age, these are usually stuck on. I like to break them loose before I pull on them. Then we'll go muff, put this to the side. And we'll need to find the actual signal plugs. They should be gray and black. I like to use a small flathead screwdriver to pry up on their locking features and just disengage them. Once this is done, we could snake these wires and plugs back and out of the headlight shroud. And once both of them are on the outside, we are ready then to remove the front signals. Now, Yamaha signals have this locking mechanism that uses a rubber boot that is locked via this plastic jamming piece. Once you get this out, you could lock on, twist, and pull out, and that will be pretty much that. So I will just perform that now within here. Our Echo signals come pre-assembled with a nut and a washer on each unit. We'll need to remove those to make our installation. Next, we will reach into our pod signal mounting kit and take out half of the set. Identify the components. You'll see a round washer. There's two of them. For this particular installation, we will not be using these washers. There's a slightly larger plate and a smaller plate. The smaller plate goes on the outside with the protruding portion, the convex portion out, and then the larger plate goes on the inside with the convex portion towards the mounting ear here that the OEM signal came out of. This locates it and doesn't let it move around, and this is just cosmetic. So to make this really easy, I like to configure these before I put them on. I'll show you guys how to do that. So smaller plate goes on first, then larger plate, then our washer, then our nut. At this point, I like to make the electrical connection because I have all my fasteners already passed around this. So we can do that now. On these bikes, you have a 3-conductor plug that outputs into a ground wire, a running light wire, and a signal wire. This is a single circuit component. It does not have a running light. So we will only be making use of the ground and the signaling wire, and the blue on our harness converters will be left unconnected. So now we will plug the yellow wire from our signal into the brown wire on the harness converter, and then the black from the signal into the red on the converter. As you can see here, we have these PVC sleeves that are meant to insulate these connections, but they do move around quite a bit, and during riding and all the vibration that is consequent from that, they may slip off, and then you could get a short circuit. So what I like to do in every one of these installations is grab a little bit of electrical tape and lock these guys down, thereby making sure everything stays insulated and we don't have any problems after installation. Now I've locked down the 2 conductors that I actually connected. Now remember, this plugs into the bike and remains on because this is the running light wire. So we need to make sure that this one stays insulated as well and doesn't ground out on something there. We may blow a fuse if it does. So once again, get our electrical tape on it, make sure it's fully covered and that PVC sleeve does not slip off of it anywhere down the line. And there we go. Pretty nice. All right, I'm gonna get this in through the mounting ear for the signals on this bike. And then all these components can just pass through just like that. And this is how I make the installation as easy as possible. Now I'll insert the inner plate into the mounting ear, align my components, and start my threads. I will now level, make sure that my center axis of my beam will be parallel to the ground. Make sure all the plates are aligned before I lock them down. We use a 14mm open-ended wrench to get this tightened down. Now remember, you are turning the nut in and preloading these two ABS plastic plates. Do not over tighten them because you may crack them. It's just not going to be a good day for you. Once you get it tight to the point where the signal doesn't move around anymore, you're done. All that remains on this side is to get this plug and wire back in to the compartment behind your headlight in the reverse order of disassembly of the OEM components, and then to get it plugged in. Now, I don't remember which wire corresponded to what, so I'm going to try and see. Just happen to hit it right signal, black, good to go. Now we do have quite a bit more wire bulk than the OEM signal here because we have the converter and all that stuff. So we'll need to make sure that we distribute that behind and around and make sure that this plug still has enough room to fit in here behind the headlight. All right, now I'll just repeat the procedure on the left side of the bike and we'll see how we did. Now we can just proceed to the reinstallation of the headlight in the reverse order of disassembly. Our main plug here is keyed, so there's only one way to put it on. This interference lock has to go on first, and then the light rotates into the vehicle. We'll place the screws on the side, we should be good to go. All right, there you have it. It's about a 10 to 15 minute installation, really simple and produces really cool results. As you can see, on this particular bike, these signals really match the styling. Some other bikes will also look good with them. They weren't really developed specifically for this bike, so if you have a different bike and you want to check these out, it's tstindustries.com, and if you have any questions, drop us a line. We'll do our best to help you out. If you guys noticed, we do have a hyperflash symptom going. The signaling system is telling the signals to flash faster than the 85 cycle per minute rate. If you want to cure that, we do have this guy, it's our Gen 2 flasher relay. It plugs in right under the seat. It's less than a minute to get it installed. Plug and play, really simple part. Very popular choice to go with signaling system. Anytime we see signaling systems purchased, people usually buy these. So I would seriously consider that if you're making a purchase, but that's up to you. Thank you for watching, and hopefully you'll check us out at tstindustries.com. See you later.